is your bubbly and beautiful host, Elizabeth. It's the Caffeinated Cooper Show.
Yeah, I believe in don't believe in lucky seconds. I'm not sure about Loch Ness, but I know I believe in angels. I believe in happiness.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's wonderful to see you. I'm back with another great show. Hello, Larry. It's wonderful to see you, Larry. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for commenting. So everybody who's watching the show, please do feel as interactive as you'd possibly like to be. I have a wonderful, beautiful actress, producer, screenwriter connected with us. Her name is Ciera Danielle, and we are going to get to her in just a moment. But first up, I'd like to talk about the sponsor. It is Kogo Coco. Kogo Coco is a super cool company. And the reason why they truly have my heart, and I absolutely love them, is because it's veteran designed and developed. And actually, when I interviewed them, he wasn't quite a veteran. He connected with no name and an encrypted phone, which was really interesting. So go back to season 1 with Kogo Coco. It is its own episode. And he tells me about the need for something homey and comforting in their MREs while out in the field, which is what Kogo Coco is. And it's, it says here on the packet, and I'm reading the back of it, so I'm kind of cheating, but 6-ounce cup of Kogo Coco hot chocolate. So it's designed to be a 6-ounce cup, but here's the mind-blowing thing. There's 98 milligrams of caffeine. So, he's like, we want the taste of home in the field, but we also have to stay awake all night. So we needed something that was going to be able to provide good caffeine and not leave us, diving off a cliff because our caffeine's crash, highs crashing and all that kind of stuff. So this is a great product to try. It's premium high chocolate filled with rich cocoa flavor, and each cup providing the same amount of caffeine. It has 0 fructose, 0 soy. Like I had mentioned, 6-ounce cup is what the packet is recommended to fill, and it is 98 milligrams of caffeine per cup. U.S. Armed Forces veteran developed and owned company. You can get this at kogococo.com, and let me bring up their information so that you can write that down. But absolutely don't go anywhere, because we want you to stay connected so that we can talk to Ciera Danielle. So Kogo Coco is spelled COGOCOCOA.com. And you can go check out their website and order your Kogo Coco. You can also get Kogo Coco on Amazon. And I've purchased it a few times before they came on as a sponsor on Amazon. It was absolutely super easy, of course, because they deliver it right to your doorstep, which it doesn't get any better than having something delivered. It's a no-brainer, right? So go check out kogococo.com, get your cup of hot cocoa. And it is only March. So many places of the United States are still really quite cold. And wouldn't you like a cup of cocoa? Kogo Coco, try it out. All right, so let's talk about the lovely lady, hello, that I have connected to the broadcast. I'm so excited to see so many of my thespian friends connected. They are in the arts of entertainment. Larry Gilbert, which is he's actually in the middle of filming pre-production of his film. We have Ken Dodge, we have Marcus Lamberts. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a great show, and I know you guys are going to have wonderful questions. Ciera Danielle. So Ciera fell in love with acting in her small town in Southern California, and while still a teen, moved to Los Angeles on her own and began to work professionally and studying acting. She quickly won Best Actress Award for her starring role in the feature film Post. Soon after, she began to write, produce, and direct movies of her own. Her directional debut in the feature film Daisies won her numerous awards, including another Best Actress award. She has since then worked as a screenwriter, producer, and actress on dozens of films around the world, such as the 15-time award-winning documentary Sparks, the Ken Sparks story in 2022. She is a co-owner of the award-winning production company Native Wind Media and is a devoted mother, wife, and follower of Jesus. And without any further ado, I'd love to bring to the broadcast Miss Ciera Danielle. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Doing
I
really great.
I am so glad. You look just so fresh and so beautiful. That is a long list of things that you do. How do you stay so fresh and beautiful?
It's this amazing light I have right here. It's all the light. I wish I could take it with me everywhere.
So I was just reading, and it is said in your teens you traveled to Los Angeles to get into the world of becoming an actress.
Yes.
And then you quickly won your first Best Actress award.
Yeah, I studied acting for a handful of years, and then it was the first feature film I did.
Wow. So did you find success right off the bat, or take me to that very first audition? What happened?
My first audition, it was commercial work. I was, I started auditioning before I moved to LA. I would drive I didn't have air conditioning in my car, and I would drive 40 miles a day in the heat to get to these auditions. Lots of commercial work, but it went really well at the time. Honestly, it just seemed like I booked them all the time. It's not like that anymore. It took some time, but it was just felt like I was, following my purpose. And I just started studying acting. Sorry, motorcycle.
No, that's okay. So I find that to be so smart because you hear so many stories of people saying, oh no, I'm going to make it. I'm just going to pack up everything and go to LA, where you're saying that, you had auditioned first. You were already beginning within your career of being an actress before you moved to LA. So what was that point to where you said, okay, now's the time to move?
I think I just I was very young. And so I was just I was sleeping on a futon in my mom's living room of her apartment. I just didn't have very much. So it was just sort of seemed like as soon as I could, it felt honestly, as soon as I saved up enough money and got the opportunity, I was there. But I had already been commuting to go to acting school and, working in commercials and stuff.
What is your favorite out of all of it? Because it sounds like you've done just a little bit or a lot, actually, wrong choice of words, a lot of everything. What is your favorite of it? Have you done modeling as well?
Oh yeah, a little bit in the beginning.
Okay. So we have modeling, we have acting, producing, screenwriting. I mean, what is your favorite of all of it so far?
Oh, acting for sure. I mean, the reason I started making movies was because I was sick of waiting for people to put me in movies. I've always been a writer, so that also just sort of came. But as far as figuring out how to make a movie, I had no idea. And it's always been about acting. Up until I think Sparks, honestly, it's always been about how can I put myself in a movie? And then it became about something greater, I think, not too long ago.
So what is your daily condition that you do for acting? Are there daily techniques that you do? And then maybe what are the classes that you continue?
Well, I haven't been in class in a long time. But I did study for 6 years, the Meissner technique. And I taught it a little bit too. But as far as a daily practice as act, it's hard, because you don't have a partner there. I mean, I think you're an actress or you used to act. Yeah. But I love plays. I still work on plays. I'll work on a role by myself. I've started shooting little scenes, but I guess anything to keep that thing inside of me fed, because it's hard. It's hard as an actor especially I'm a mom, to find time for that. Mm-hmm.
It is. You really have to have a decent time budget. In my opinion of my world, is that everything kind of goes on a schedule, as much as I don't want it to, because it's the arts. That's what we're in. We're artistic animals. And, but still trying to stay within that time schedule really does help. So I have Larry Gilbert here. He's connected. He said, producer, director, writer, editor, actor, sound, choreography. Have there been any jobs you haven't done?
Let me think about that. I haven't been an AD. Well, kind of was a little bit. So I don't know. But that's what it's like when you're an independent filmmaker. You're like, well, this has to get done. So I guess we're going to figure out how to do it.
Absolutely. What was, so take me to one of your most intricate pieces that you had to figure out. And, I know that we're going to be talking about Sparks, the Ken Sparks story. What was the most challenging piece? Was it the financial piece? Was it casting? What did you feel like in that project of Sparks, the Ken Sparks story, was the biggest hurdle to try to get over?
Well, it was the editing, because I edited it, and I'm not necessarily, I feel like my gifting is I'm a storyteller, but I'm not like super tech guy who's comfortable sitting in a chair for 15 hours as an editor. But I edited it. I felt like I had to tell that story. That was really challenging. Editing a documentary is a huge task. Is watching like 20 hours of footage and crafting a story together. That was really challenging. And then, big holes. We had to find footage from his past, and it's like putting a puzzle together. But that was really hard.
Really? Was it hard to be able to get the rights to the footage to be able to, since it's a documentary?
The people, my father-in-law, who is the director of the film, he's close with the Sparks family. And so they were very, very helpful. Everyone's just very supportive and giving. So getting this stuff wasn't necessarily hard. It was figuring out how to tell a whole life in 90 minutes. And there's so much to tell. And you inevitably have to leave out some beautiful things. So that was really difficult. Honestly, I never want to do it again. but it came out beautiful. So.
And so this particular project, it came out in 2022. Yeah. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second. How about, do you mind if we watch the trailer?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's get in here and watch this trailer.
He said, it's more important for us to win souls for Jesus Christ than it is to win football games.
This generation, coaches are the missionaries.
He was a warrior. That's what he was.
He inspired me. He gave me that role model of how to coach.
I'm watching all these guys who were my heroes on the football playing field cry and talk about Jesus.
It's amazing where God will step in to do his will. And he's using a game called football to change people's lives.
There are thousands and thousands of guys all across the world, just like me, who are directly impacted by Ken Sparks.
The light shines in the darkness, and it's Christ in us, and he is what Ken would tell you made all the difference.
Wow. Really pretty work there. My goodness. Now, for anybody watching that who does not know Ken Sparks, can you fill in the blanks a little bit? Who was Ken Sparks?
Yes, Ken Sparks was a college football coach at Carson Newman University. He was called the Billy Graham of coaches. So he had a coaching legacy for like 40 years, and he just changed the game. He coached in such a way that he touched so many lives, and created this amazing legacy.
And did you do all of the interviews in there? Did you conduct those? My
father-in-law, myself, and my husband, we did it as a like a 3-ring circus, really.
Is everybody in entertainment, all three of you, or just you?
No, my father-in-law is actor, director, producer, and my husband is a musician. He's a composer. He's an award-winning songwriter, and yeah, Sparks was the first thing where we all just joined together to get it done.
Very interesting. So the Billy Graham of coaches, and I apologize, that just popped up on the screen. And I did mistype it. It's not Grams, it's Billy Graham.
Billy Graham. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
And so Billy Graham, and yeah, I did have a moment in time where I was actually a waitress at a restaurant in Asheville, North Carolina, and he used to bring his family in all the time. Mm-hmm. And what an interesting gentleman, always so kind, of course, very spiritual, very godly. In the Ken Sparks story, what are some of the favorite stories that you have of what everybody told you? What was there one where you're just like, oh, that gave me chills and brought tears to my eyes?
You don't want to make me cry. I mean, there's so many. One that comes to mind, you say restaurant. I mean, gosh, there's so many, but here one that comes to mind. I mean, here's a guy who he won so many championships. He was like a really big deal. He's like in the Hall of Fame, but it didn't really matter. What was amazing about Ken Sparks was that it was about reaching people. It was about igniting a spark in another human being, about really ministering to them, and helping them to encounter Jesus, and to just so there's one story at the end of the film. His son says that they were all up on a family vacation in this beautiful lake house, this big cabin, but there was one guy, a groundskeeper, he was kind of like a lowly, sad, very poor, very kind of like rednecky guy who would just wander around this beautiful lake house that everyone rented to like take care of the grounds. And he said, Chad Sparks said, my dad made that guy his mission that week that we were. He would go and build the man up, go out of his way to get around that guy and tell him, look at how beautiful these grounds are. You're amazing. Make him feel like he's king of the earth. So it's just so that he could encounter the love of God and really just be blessed. And so that one always tears me to bits when I see it. But that's who Ken Sparks was.
I love hearing stories like that where people are pouring into others. Yeah. And it's such, in my opinion, such an amazing moment to be able to pour into someone else, because you have to be complete with yourself, and you have to be complete with your faith and where you are in life to be able to ever fill anyone else's cup. Yeah. So in the Ken Sparks story, does it talk about his foundation with Christ and with his religion?
Yeah, absolutely. He became a Christian and encountered Jesus very young, or as a teenager, and that kind of just changed the whole trajectory of his life. And he never wavered from that. But if you see the documentary, you'll see he had some struggles. I mean, we all have struggles. He made lots of mistakes, and you see that throughout. But you see that he never left. That never left his life as his purpose. And that's what gave him this amazing legacy. And that's why he touched all these lives. Yeah. And he's still touching lives. That's what's so crazy. I mean, the film is blowing up. Things are happening. And I don't know why, other than he still God has a purpose for his story.
And let's talk about that for a minute. So the film absolutely is blowing up because it was released this year, 2022, and you already have 15 awards.
Yeah, and it had a very a successful theatrical release at Regal Theaters, and that's the first time that's happened for us, our production company, and it happened quite easily. And now we're working out distribution elsewhere, and it's just been blessed.
Absolutely. Now, was this an expensive documentary to put together?
No, I think no. It wasn't. I think the final budget was around $120,000, but that's over. It took us a year, and that's including everything with the theatrical release and all that. So, I mean, it sounds like a lot of money, but we really kind of did it like a shoestring budget.
Well, yeah, especially if it's it's including the release. I mean, that's got to be a big chunk of change, right? How did you capture the interest of Regal to be able to put it in the Regal theaters?
Well, we just got a contact from someone who was interviewed in the film, who used to be a player for Coach Sparks, and he's a minister now. And a friend from Regal goes to his church, and they connected us, and they just loved it, and they said, let's make it happen. So it was honestly quite I want to say effortless, which is again why I feel like there's a purpose for this film, you know, where people should see it. I think every man should see it for sure.
And to that point, just a little bit to that point, it's actually great timing, Mr. Gilbert. So Larry Gilbert, he has a question for you. He said, do you think people are feeling more lost than ever due to the attack on traditional Christianity? And this is contributing to the success?
Yeah, I do think people are feeling more lost than ever. That's for sure. And you know, it's what I feel like. I feel like it's making people who follow Jesus or the attacks on the faith, or feeling like the walls are closing. It's almost causing a revival to happen in the church, or the revival to happen, I guess, in the hearts of the body of Christ. I think so. I think people are seeing that. I think that's the saving, that it's us, that we have to step up and support each other. We have to shine that light, or my goodness, it's all going to fall to pieces.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. It's serious. It's really serious. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see where the heart, mind, and psyche of people go through the challenges, as we see more and more challenges seeming to mount. So as far as being able to view the film, so I know that it went through and cycled through Regal theaters, and you had great success, as we were just talking about. You have 15 awards under your belt for this one particular documentary, which is Sparks, the Ken Sparks story. Now, if we wanted to watch it now, is it available on streaming?
Not yet. No, we're working out those deals right now. DVD, streaming, we're working out all the distribution. Just choosing the right pathway, you know?
Yeah.
So we have meetings right now. So soon it will be available, but not just yet. But if you're interested in, you know, you could go to our website or reach out to me on my social media as well. And, you know, we can keep you up to date when it will be out.
Absolutely. So if anybody wanted to contact you, they can find you on Facebook as Danielle. Nope, that's not you. That is a different guest. Let me get to Ciera Danielle, not Daniel. Okay, so Ciera Danielle on Imdb, which is a wonderful source if anybody out there would like to know what Imdb holds and puts out there. It's all information about television and film. And so you can search her as Ciera Danielle. That's CIERA DANIELLE. Facebook is Ciera Danielle, and Instagram is at Ciera_Danielle_. You have another film that was released, and this was December 2021. It's called Banking on Love. Ooh, tell me about that one.
That is a Christmas one. Oh, I loved it. I've done so many like heavy dramas in my life that I'm just over it. So to get to do a fun Pureflix Christmas film was just a total joy. It was a joy.
Okay, so tell me all the roles that you had within the development of this one. Were you
I just acted.
Okay, perfect. I had to ask. It's like Larry had said, you've done everything. So I had to ask, because you never know. All right. So what was that experience like? Because we're still within COVID sets for filming that one, or was it in the can before COVID and then just had a delay?
we shot it the year, 2020, December 2020. So yeah, it was COVID-y for sure. We had our COVID officer on set and masks up, and there was no vaccine or anything yet. So it was just tested. Well, were we even tested? I don't even know. No, we were tested. We just had to sign our forms, masked up. Everybody's in their special little areas. So it was careful, but it wasn't a gigantic set. So it was still comfortable. It was pleasant. I did a film, I think it was June 2020, and that was a little intense.
Oh, I can imagine. I've heard a lot of very interesting stories. I believe it was Universal sets. They have these great little lanyards. And so there's a button on the lanyard. And if you're within 6 feet of each other, the button turns red. So you have to back up and the button turns
Oh my gosh.
So all of the ADs and everybody can keep an eye on where everybody is and be like, you got to go like this. And I was speaking to an actress and she's like, we're touchy-feely people. We go on set and we want to hug and we want to talk close. And she's like, it's really kind of cumbersome. But all the stories of being on set, because I haven't been on a COVID set. I haven't been available to get out there and be working again as an actress just yet. But I find all the stories to be so fascinating. So I do have the trailer pulled up for Banking on Love. Would you like to play it or set it up?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. This is Banking on Love.
I think it's going to work out with the bank, Pop. How much time do we have? Not much.
Look,
Where?
He locked us inside the vault.
Why?
For no money in the safe. That guy you were locked in the vault with, I saw the way he was looking at you. Like he could have been locked in that vault with you until next Christmas. We barely know each other. He was just looking out for me.
Life moves fast. It's time to try something new. You're different. What happened in there, Jack? When you were locked up with that lady?
She helped me find my shoes.
She must be one special lady.
She is.
That looks so fun. I agree with you. And
yeah, who doesn't love a Christmas movie?
Okay. So is that available for streaming for us?
Yeah.
To feel a little Christmas in July is coming.
Yes, why not? Yeah, it's on Pureflix. I think it's also on Amazon as well, but Pureflix. Mm-hmm.
All right. So what is your favorite part, without giving away the story, of course, but what's your favorite part, your favorite scene that you were in Banking on Love?
You know, I don't honestly, I had a blast. I just had a blast in all of that because I got to play a comedic role. And to just kind of be a goof and kind of be like fun and nothing too heavy, which again, like I've done so much really heavy stuff that I loved all of that. I loved it. It was like a lark, and I can't wait to do more. Honestly, I can't wait to do my next Christmas movie.
Well, congratulations on that. That really looks like a very special project. Both of them are very, very special projects. In this phase of life, as you're still very, very young, but you're a mother, you're a wife, so our life is maturing and we're full grown adults, right? Do you find that you're looking for particular projects where your passion is fine tuning itself within your career?
Absolutely. Especially also being a filmmaker where I can control things more. I think it's taken on a deeper purpose for me because I do follow Jesus and I am a mother, and we are in this world where it feels like there's a lot of junk out there. So I feel very clear and empowered that I can't just take any role anymore. And I don't want to just make any kind of movie. I want to do things that are going to bring light and love and goodness into this world. Mm-hmm. And that includes acting, which is kind of a tricky thing because some of the funnest roles you get to act are really like messed up people. So I'm figuring that out. But this current stage of my life, I'm appreciating my work a lot more, and I look forward to making a lot more beautiful things. I think we need more beautiful things. I think we desperately need more beautiful things. I think people are looking for beautiful things that they can trust, you know?
So if there's anything that you could go back and tell your younger self of saying, look for this or look for that in the particular types of work that you choose for reason X, what would it be?
I think I would actually just tell myself to figure out who I was first before I started to try and act a bunch of parts. I would say, go find yourself, go find the Lord. And then you'll be able to, discern what kinds of things to do, because I think, this industry is full of a lot of predators.
Yes.
And as a young girl, and it can lead to a lot of unsavory circumstances. And when you're an actress, unfortunately, those are recorded. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some movies that I'm just like, I'm not proud of that at all. Well, sorry, that's out to the whole world, So I think it's important, when you so desperately want to act, or you so desperately want to make a song, or you so desperately want, success, you can just throw your self under the bus. And so you got to find out who you are. And there are more important things. There are more important things than acting success. I'm sorry, there are, even if that's, or whatever, music success. So you got to get your priorities straight, and then you can make clear and better decisions.
And those clear and better decisions, they're going to lead you to success.
Yeah.
So with all of the clarity, you really, you're just with your eyes closed, to be honest. And who can know exactly what direction you're going in with your eyes closed? I love your answer there. I really do. That was a great answer for so many people watching that are thinking about starting out. They have children that they feel like, oh, they're perfectly precocious, and we want to put them into the arts. And that is quite a hard decision for many people that I've spoken to. We're here in the Atlanta market, and the Atlanta market has been very heavy with children. We got Nickelodeon, we have Disney, we have a lot of different scouts out here for Southeastern kids. And there's a lot that goes into it. If I was a parent that had a young child, what are the top 3 things that you would say don't do, and what are the top 3 things that you would say make sure you do?
Oh, Lord. Don't sexualize your children for anybody. Don't think it has to be like right now. There's plenty of time, so don't settle, and don't stress them out if they don't force it on them. But then if they really are. I always tell kids and parents this: get them in theater class, like get them on stage, get them actually falling in love with acting, and not just, I want to be famous. You know what I mean? There's a difference. I meet some kids, I'm like, oh, you just want to be famous. And somebody just love acting. And that's what's going to give you longevity. And that's what, is going to be actually healthy. So yeah, I would say get them on stage, get them in a theater class, or, some healthy creative outlet like that, or a small film class, something. Get them actually acting and studying, like, let's learn about acting. And then just don't stop them if it's what they really want. That's the one thing I can say for my parents. I didn't get a lot of help, but they didn't stop me. And, that was a big deal.
That is a big deal. I fell in love with it very, very young, but, and I was paused, and I'm fortunate and happy and thankful for the pause, because my parents also identified they needed to stay in their own lane, so to say. They didn't know anything about the entertainment industry, and our market was New York City in the early to mid 80s. And so they said, no, it's too dangerous. We don't know how to guide you. We don't know how to keep you safe. And I love what you said there, which is be sure that you're not sexualizing your children. Just because the director is saying, well, we need you to do this for the, the audition. I mean, it is your third audition. Like, don't. If you don't feel comfortable, don't.
Yeah, because there's a lot of pressure. And there's honestly, there's not a set, like, I think a lot of families or kids, you do have a sort of set moral groundwork. None of that really is in Hollywood. Like, it's all like watercolors where it's just seeping into, so it's hard to hold on to that. And you don't want to mess people up when they're kids. You got to give them a shot.
Absolutely. So, let's talk about the media for just a moment. And it seems like the media within the entertainment industry, it will focus on the splashiest, most negative stories of who's breaking up and who's getting a divorce. If in a perfect world, you could change that around and turn it more positive, turn it into so-and-so just had a wonderful Bible study and this is what they got out of it. What would it be called if you were to start that media company? And how popular do you think it would be?
Oh, in Hollywood? How popular it would be in Hollywood? Oh, everywhere?
Everywhere.
Oh, well, I think that's not a bad idea. Honestly, Carl, I don't think that's a bad idea. I think there are enough, like, Christian or, pure-hearted viewers out there who are interested in that. I think that would actually be, you might want to do something with that, honestly, to know about what your favorite, like, inspirational or faith actors or filmmakers are doing. I don't know what it would be called. Faith new? No, I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I can never think about things on the fly like that. But that's not a bad idea. I think that people are really, at least like the people in the genre that we're talking about, inspiration, faith-based, people are really hungry for content. People are they don't trust Netflix. They don't trust a lot of these studios. They're disillusioned, and they've sort of been like pushed back on, like our friend was saying in the chat. So I think it's a wonderful time of opportunity for things like that, and for filmmakers and actors who are filled with the Spirit or want to just do pure things. I think it's actually, I think it would be really successful, honestly. I think people are starving for that, and now is the time.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. I think so as well. I think, everything is sort of this yin and yang dichotomy, right? So if you have so many people watching negative, 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 we're going to become programmed to look for the negative. We're going to become programmed to think for the negative. And I'd love to see a shift in it. And I'm glad that you indulged me there for just a moment. You gave me your opinion. And I think I agree with you. I think a lot of people would really get hooked on the positive. And then can you imagine the positive changes within our content of what people will be consuming within content? And as far as, speaking about content and speaking about films and projects, what do you have coming up next?
Oh, well, we are in development for the nonfiction, the narrative feature of the Ken Sparks stories. So the feature film played by actors. So I'm playing Ken Sparks. So we're in development on that. And then other things. We are developing a Christmas film, and also I've got another a fantasy period piece that is also in development. That one will take a little bit of time. So I just started auditioning again. Lord, I had a baby 8 months ago. So I don't know about acting, but as far as our production company, I think the first thing up would be It Only Takes a Spark, which would be the football film, and a Christmas film, because like I said, I love those Christmas movies. So does everybody else, it seems. But what I have to say is I'm really interested in creating beautiful content, beautiful films for this market, because I think one thing about it is artistically, I think a lot of times faith-based films seem to suffer. A lot of times people don't really like to watch them, so like, no, honestly, it wasn't very good, as far as artistically.
Right.
And I'm excited to create some really, really incredible films. I think that's what we need. And we need some really high quality, high artistic quality films with a message, a good message.
I absolutely agree with you. So how far into pre-production have you come with making that adaptation of Sparks, the Ken Sparks story, into a full feature film where everybody, it's actors, it's none of the family and none of the footage of actually Mr. Sparks. How are you close to casting, or what is your time frame for that?
Well, we're in development, which means we are finding the funding and we are putting the pieces together. So we're not far off from making offers to actors, but things are moving quite fast with the documentary, which is making things move fast with funding and distribution deals, etc., with the feature. So, but we're not there yet. Who knows how long it will take, but hopefully soon.
So I won't ask you any names, and I don't want any names, of course, but to play Ken Sparks, do you have like your top number one that you already know who you would just love to have to play him?
I don't. But he's so dear to us all that, you probably are going to want to offer it to a name actor, or hopefully it doesn't come down to that. A lot of times for funding, it's like, well, they have to, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully it can just be the right person. But I don't know. They got to be a really special person. It's a killer role. And he's an awesome human being. I will act in that film, though. So I'll be in there somewhere. Hopefully, if I can swing it.
That has to be something that you really have to sit back and truly research for an actor to come in and play Ken Sparks. My goodness. So you have so much virtue to live up to that it would take away from the film. And I'm just my brain rattling through. But it seems like it would take away from the film if someone had sort of a tawdry background. They really wouldn't be a fit, even if they could play it perfectly.
I know. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to come down to, honestly. I mean, we all have a past, but I would definitely want that person to be filled with the Holy Spirit. So regardless of what they did before, as long as they're, because that was his story. And that's another thing. I don't want to water that down. A lot of time these football films that have to do with the Lord or with, they get watered down. So for the public,
yeah.
And I understand you want to reach more people, but you can't take that part away from this story.
True.
Yeah.
So for all the people out there watching that are actors and actresses and agents and publicists, for casting, and I know this is a way like into the future kind of question, but do you have any favorite casting directors that you enjoy working with? Or just will this come through breakdown services? And
well, I'm sure we'll go through breakdown services. Yes, and it will be here in the Southeast. I'm in Nashville. It'll take place between here, Knoxville, and Jefferson City. Mm-hmm. So if there's actors around there and viewing, yeah. I mean, I'm an actor as well, so I don't think I don't necessarily only want to use like the top casting directors, because I know sometimes you're a terrific actor and maybe you're with a smaller agency or you're self-submitting,
Yeah.
I definitely want somebody who's really good at their craft. Doesn't necessarily have to have the biggest credits, just have to, be good at what you do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, this is just fantastic. I find your background and who you are and everything just radiates off of you. And congratulations again on your new baby.
Yeah, she's
Are you getting sleep?
What? Oh, on and off, girl. She's teething. Every time we get, in a flow, another tooth comes in. It's just a season.
Oh, and may I ask, did you have a little girl, a little boy?
Yeah, little girl. I got 2 girls.
Oh, I loved when my little girls were little. It was just so calm. Let me tell you, the difference between boys and girls.
I hear that.
So calm. They will sit and they'll read and they'll sit and color. Their shows are much more. And then boys are for mamas. I love the boy hugs. And what I found so interesting, and I don't know if anybody else is going to find this interesting in the podcast, we're going to have a mommy chat for a minute. When I would pick up my girls, even as an infant, they sort of lean back from mom a little bit and they lean in to dad. And when you pick up a little boy, they lean into mom and they lean back from dad. And that is so indicative of the relationship. Like, what an amazing relationship to have a child and to feel the love of a child, because both of the girls are going to follow you around. And you are their queen. They are going to want to be exactly like you, and it's a beautiful relationship.
Oh, thank you. And I've heard that about boys. I don't know if I'm going to have one.
I didn't either. I had 3 girls and then happened to get pregnant for the 4th time. And we always found out. I'm a planner. I need to know.
Oh, yeah.
They said it's a boy, and I said, no, it's not. I don't make boys. It's not a boy. No. I'll check again in a couple of months, but no, it's not. And it was. It was.
Oh, that's great.
Well, I want to thank you so much for your time, Ciera. This has been really, really nice to get to know you and to meet you. And thank you for opening up on the show and talking a little bit about the mommy talk that we had talked about and about your journey within acting. And your 2 wonderful, one is a documentary called Sparks, the Ken Sparks story, which is going through a development for adaptation to feature film. And that is going to be a really, really huge bionic hit. I mean, you already have on the documentary 15 awards, and it released in 2022 in Regal Theaters. And then Banking on Love, which is available to watch streaming if you would like to watch a really engaging Christmas film. And that was released this past December. So thank you so much for connecting with us. Everybody go follow, message, everything. Are you out there for people to say, I love you, you're so wonderful?
Oh, that's so
message on your Facebook, or is it all locked down?
Oh, no, yeah, I'm public. I want to make some new friends.
I know. There's so many wonderful people out there. We can watch media and we can, watch the tabloid stuff, unfortunately, even if you don't watch it, which I don't, but we go to the grocery store, right?
Right.
And all those things. It just makes you feel like there's not enough good when there's really majority good. And when you stop and talk to people, majority of people are so good. And
100. Oh, I love that. That's so 100 true. Thank you.
And you are absolutely one of them. So thank you so much.
Thank you. This has been a total pleasure.
It really has. All right. Well, have a wonderful weekend. Hug the baby girls. Have a great time. And you're a friend of the show. So anytime you'd like to come back on, if you have something new to talk about with Sparks, the Ken Sparks story, or any other project, a book, a podcast, whatever you start up, please let me know, because I'd love to have you onto the show again.
Okay. I look forward to it.
Yeah. All righty. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh, everybody, I love that show. Make sure you rewind it if you're an actor, if you're a screenwriter, if you are in development or pre-production of a film, you definitely want to rewatch that show. That was Ciera Danielle, and she is absolutely fabulous in Tennessee. Everybody, we are blessed. You are blessed. I love you, each and every one of you.